Look at the camera. Here we go. Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys. It's Jenny.
And Paul.
With the Go Box and Bingo Artist Bar and Studio in Portland, Oregon. We are live streaming tonight from Sherwood in our studio space there. And it is a beautiful night, very cold. No rain this time, though. Last time we live streamed, it was super loud.
It was rainy. There was stuff hitting the windows.
Yeah, stuff hitting the windows.
But that's Oregon, and if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So we thought last time we live streamed about 5 days ago that was our last one, and we did this whole spiel about ending 2020.
Yeah.
But you know, crazy things happen, and we are live streaming tonight because of a studio class that got canceled. We Three Gnomes, which sells out every year, super popular, super cute, super fun, which is why everybody signs up for it. And I appreciate those of you who wanted to do the class online rather than having us refund your money, because it's really hard to issue a lot of refunds for canceled classes during COVID. So we really appreciate you sticking with us through the live stream, letting us ship the product to you. These little triangles.
You know, I'm going to live stream tomorrow morning, too.
Yeah, Paul's going to live stream a snowman painting tomorrow morning. These little triangles, we have a set of 3. They're available. Paul made extras, so if anyone wants to buy any, they're available. Just message us on our website. We can hook you up. They make actually cute garden gnome paintings that you can put up all year. It doesn't have to be a Christmas thing, so...
They come in 3 different sizes, and if you have the kit, you know that. If you don't have the kit, go over to our website and order it. I'll hand make these for you.
Yes, Paul hand makes all of them. I get to smell all the sawdust and listen to him being out in the garage for a very long time.
If she hears me, I come back in, I'm like,
what?
Like Tim Allen from the Home Improvement show.
Brothers. So tonight we are we picked up some orange creamsicle Avid cider, delicious stuff. So normally we do wine when we're live streaming, and tonight we decided to do cider.
So we have a question. Somebody asked if you can watch this later. Absolutely. As soon as we get done, it does stay on our YouTube channel under. I think it would be under the live playlists, but it does archive it, and you can watch it anytime you want. And in fact, if you watch partway through and pause it, you can do that too. Rewind, just like DVR on home. So
yeah, you can pause if I'm going too fast, which probably it'll feel that way in class, on the stage, live. I can, stop when people say, what brush? Or now can you show me how to mix that color again? But obviously online, I can't really do that unless you're messaging on there, and we try to catch that. So yeah, if it feels like I'm going too fast, please pause.
If you see me looking way over here like this, it's because I'm reading the monitor that shows your questions.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm being totally disrespectful to Jenny and be like, man, I'm not listening to you.
Yep. Let's zoom in on our project, Paul.
Let's do it.
Enough of us. So these are 2 of the gnomes, and on this third one, we actually turned that one into a Christmas tree just for fun. Obviously,
that's also
the
a
ones,
small one.
Yeah, and the ones. Let me pull up the picture here on my phone. These are the ones you signed up for. These are the ones I'm going to teach, and you can change them up as however you want. The one I remember the most is someone at Stickman Brewing, when we did these, she made red and black buffalo plaid, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever for her.
Are the original ones at the other studio?
Yeah, the original ones at our Selwood studio, which we didn't get a chance to go to this week. We were shipping stuff all day long, every day. But yeah, so you have your 3 triangles. This particular one, it looks like he has like a black eye. He got punched or something. There's actually a knot hole right there. You can, and you can see on this it goes all the way through. But you can.
I drew on the back of that, by the way.
You did draw on the back, so you can flip these over and decide which side you want to do most. I think I'm going to have us start with. What we're going to do is we're going to flip between the 3. While one's drying, we'll work on another one. And so let's just start with the smallest one. I was trying to decide which one I wanted to do. Little guy. Oh, I want to show you guys. I was painting all day long today, different projects. And I made these really fun coasters for my parents. So Paul cuts these out of our reclaimed Oregon wood.
Oh, that one's got the knot hole.
I know, it's got this funny knot hole up here. It makes it look like a different state shape.
But I think that's really cool when that happens.
Too. Yeah, so I made for my parents. They don't watch our YouTube channel. I don't even know if they know how to log into it.
Watch, this will be the one night they actually do watch. But you know what? Lee and Naomi, if you are watching,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We're giving them to you tomorrow anyway. So
I did a whole summer, fall, spring, and winter. So a lot of you guys would recognize these as paintings in our studio. This is the one called Cascade Wildflowers. I love the way that turned out on here.
That did turn out
This
good.
is the red truck, tiny version. This one is very similar to our Go Box Halloween painting we did. This one is new. This is actually, this dark stuff is wood burned. I used my wood burning tool today for fun.
So that's what that
Yeah,
smell was.
yeah, burning wood. So we're actually going to do a coaster set as a kit coming up once the holidays are over and we get all caught up. So keep your eyes open for that. And we'll do it just the same way, live streamed. It might be 2 sessions depending on how detailed they are.
I think 2 sessions would be good.
Yeah,
anyway.
I definitely want to do this one because everybody loves that painting that's on the birch board. So I think that will be a good one. Okay, enough talking. Let's toast.
I'm going to do a set of those tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
And they're going to be
your
different.
parents.
Yeah.
Let's toast.
Let's
Happy holidays,
toast.
everybody.
Let's get this under the camera. Ready? No, wait. You're under. Get back over here. Over.
Cheers.
Move. There we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mmm.
Yum.
Yum cider.
Let's have a look at our colors. So these are the colors that you got shipped in the kit. You have your primary colors, red, yellow, blue, black, and white, and then we have metallic gold. So with primary colors and the black and white, you can mix so many different colors. So I'll show you a bit of that. You should have a cup of water, a paper towel or paint rag, and then a couple brushes, just a medium and small brush.
I should get those Go Box mugs on the website.
Go Box mugs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, so let's start with the littlest snow gnome.
Snow gnome.
This is a little bit bigger one. We're going to use the metallic gold. So the wood, the nose is actually the wood color showing through. Now, you can make a flesh color for a Scandinavian type little winter gnome by mixing, if you have to, by mixing white and gold and just the tiniest touch of red, maybe even a tiny bit of yellow. You basically want to make a peach. And red, yellow, and white would do it, but having this gold is kind of nice too. So you can make that color if you have a weird spot on your triangle or if you mess up and you need to repaint.
No, I noticed. Let me see if we have any.
This one. What's this one? This one has a stripe.
If it has a stripe like that, one of the boards had a big stripe going down the middle. Flip it over. Look at the other side. Because sometimes the knots don't go all the way through. They're at a different angle or something like that. So
okay, so let's start with our smallest brush.
Smallest brush, you got it.
Go ahead and dip the very tip of the bristles in your metallic gold. You don't need much paint on the brush at all. You can see there's very little on here.
Okay.
Got it on my fingers.
Oof.
Let's put the nose on. So it's right about in the middle, and it's about the size of a jelly bean, but it's shaped more like an oval. So I'm just gonna draw that on right in the center here. Looks like a little potato.
Looks like Santa's nose from the Rudolph movie.
Oh yeah, that is true. And then what I do with this one is I pick out the hat color and then the robe color, and we draw the beard on with the robe color. So wash your brush off. And let's see what color I want to do. So in the original, this is sort of a burgundy. Keep in mind you can do any color. Yellow and blue make green. You can add white to that and make a really cool different variation. Obviously white and red make pink. To make a burgundy, I just scooch in a little black to this red. I needed to wet my brush down first because it's really
Are you
crunchy.
mixing? Oh, you got your medium-sized brush.
So yeah, you'll make a burgundy. Another color that would work really good for this is a little bit of the blue, but that tends to turn it more on the purple side.
It depends on how much you use, because lately when we've been doing a lot of the burgundies and you're doing the red and black, I've been doing the red and blue and you can't really tell the difference.
Okay.
As long as you don't get too carried away.
This is a good kind of a cranberry burgundy, but you can mix more black with it and get Merlot.
I think it's Krampus blood.
I'm going to actually use my little brush to draw the droopy hat on. You can see how it kind of droops down. It covers up so we don't have to draw any eyes. So I'll just dip my little brush into this off the medium brush and literally droop up on each side like that. Oops, let me scoot that up a little bit. And then this is going to go over the top of the nose. Like this. And then all I'm going to do is just paint with my medium brush. Just paint upwards. If you've never painted on wood before, it dries really fast, which is kind of nice in some ways. If you have to do blending, it's a little more challenging. But for this sort of thing, this project, we won't really be doing any blending, so having it dry fast is nice.
I did do a final sand with a pretty fine sandpaper on this, so it should be nice and smooth.
If you need to use your littlest brush to get it close to any of these edges, you can definitely do that. Some people like to carry the color around the sides. You can definitely do that. I usually do if I'm painting at home on my own, I usually will wrap the color. Like if it's something I'm going to be displaying, I'll usually bring this around the side and paint the edges. It's not too hard. But that's something that can be done at the end very easily. So if you don't want to take the time now, you can definitely do it at the end of the video.
My name is Jenny, and I'm here to say I paint on the side most every day.
No.
Yeah, that's all we wrap.
Hopefully you guys have your holiday shopping done.
I don't.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not surprised.
But I do a good job.
I guess I have all of mine done. Thanks to Amazon. I normally actually do shopping in stores, but this year, obviously, well, for one, it was really hard to get out and about, just working a lot, but also just trying to help this old COVID thing go away. Be gone with you. Go away. Leave now and never come back.
Leave now and never come back.
No, you didn't have to do your...
I did.
Yeah, it definitely does look better. Don't you feel like we're little elves in Santa's workshop?
Totally.
Painting little wooden toys. But I want to be a dentist. We didn't watch that this year, or Frosty.
Not yet.
Our kids are grown up now, which is it's sad around the holidays. I love watching them grow up, but around the holidays, like I love reading children's books. I understand why people love having grandchildren. I'm not ready for that yet, though. So.
No, heavens no. I mean, our daughter's only 14, so we...
And our son is 20, but I can't envision either of them ever having kids. So we might have to hold somebody else's grandchildren and read stories. Maybe I'll do a YouTube channel reading stories.
Wait a minute.
I love reading.
Don't be stealing my idea. You know that's my idea already.
But you want to read novels, though. I like.
No. I was talking about those old books that your grandma had.
Yeah.
Your grandpa's old books, I guess they were.
They're really old.
I have to be careful because they might not be politically correct by today's standards.
Yeah, you better read them first.
Pre-read.
I'm washing my brush off pretty good just because it's got the red in it and that will pollute everything. Then just dry it off really good. Make sure you get this metal ferrule dry because otherwise you'll get a rogue little drip of water coming down and dripping on your cute little guy here.
Oh, I might do one of them as Elf.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Like speaking of ferrules.
Yeah. So if you feel like this needs a second coat, let it dry for a little bit and then go back and give it a second coat. So let's go ahead and I made this little guy's robe light blue. So we can make a light blue. Blue and white. You don't need a lot of paint with these. See how the blue really overpowered that. Now if I wanted to turn this more of a turquoisey color, I would gradually add the tiniest little touches of yellow. Getting there.
Now you're living on the edge.
Why?
It goes from turquoise to green in a hurry.
Yeah. So this is a good color. I like that.
I like that color too.
I'm gonna hold my, or just set your medium brush aside, but pick up your littlest brush. Looks like mine rolled in some red on the handle.
Rolling, 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 rolling.
So we're going to draw the beard on. This one has kind of a wavy beard. And so just maybe a 1/4 inch away from the nose, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a wavy line. He has a wizardy beard. And same thing with this one. And then all I have to do is fill in these 2 sides, which most likely you can fill in with your medium brush. Maybe use your small brush for some of these little areas, like right up in here. That's what I'm going to do. Hey, maybe we could give these as a Christmas present.
Who did we
Actually,
forget?
I think my parents already have a set of these. My mom's to the point where she's like, you don't need any more stuff. Even if it's like art that I've done, we don't need any more stuff.
It's because she still got all that art from like you did
She
in second
saved
grade.
all my art from when I was really young, which is very sweet. Then she tries to give it to me now. I'm like, I don't want that. That's in the past, Mom. I don't live in the past.
I don't even remember doing that.
You know, it's funny. She sent me a picture the other day of something Nora drew. So in 1984, I think it was. So Nora was my best friend all the way through elementary school. We're still friends. And she lives not far from me. But my mom saved a drawing she did in, it was like, actually it was 86. Now I remember. And she sent me a picture of it. She just snapped a shot of it. I'm like, wow, Mom. You saved everything.
Why did she keep your friend's drawing?
Oh, that's because it was like part of our past.
That's sweet, but...
Okay. So his beard will be painted on, but we'll wait a little bit for that. Because we don't want a blue beard, unless maybe you do. You can do wild colors. Why not? I do want to retrace the nose, because I see where I put the hat on, it's kind of disappeared a bit. I'm going to set this in the water. Alright.
Gnome, 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 gnome.
I'm going to have to put you in the other room.
Why? You can't handle fun?
I can't handle it.
That's what we're here for, Jenny, is to have fun and relax.
Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to give a little bit of blush to the top of the nose. You can see it on this one. I know it's probably hard to see because it's really pale, but there's a little pink there. I think on the Santa one it's a little easier to see. See right there? You know what? Let's actually wait on that because we'll do all 3 at the same time. That way we're not having to remix and remix and remix. I am going to give a second coat, just a really quick second coat to the hat. I technically don't need to, but I'm gonna. My OCD is telling me to do it.
I actually feel like mine ended up being a little too burgundy. So my second coat, I'm just
You're
going to
fired. Let's see.
I'm just going to do a little thin skim of some just regular red.
You know, you should paint one of these as Gandalf.
Maybe I don't want to. Maybe you should do it since it was your idea.
No, it's just gray and white, so. These are going to be colorful gnomes.
I have to do a
Or
different
wizards.
nose.
Like
I
this
have to do
one
a big
really
nose.
has a wizard look to it. I think it's because of the dark blue hat. The patterns that we do are super fun. Let's set this guy aside. We'll let little gnome take a nap. And we're going to pull in the medium triangle, get to work on it. I'll center that there. I'm going to clean my brushes real good. So this one has the green hat. Yeah, I guess I can't zoom in. What in the world? Okay, so this one has the green hat and the burgundy outfit, but you can do whatever you want. We're going to draw the nose first again, so just wash off your little brush, and we'll use the gold paint right about in the center. Now you could move it down. You could have a really tall hat and a short body. That would be really cute. Or opposite, you could have a tall body and a short hat. Why not? You guys do it how you want. So I'm going to just draw, this one I might do more of a circle. just to be different, rather than a oval or potato shape.
I might try a Gandalf nose. Not sure how that's going to be, but we're going to give it a shot.
There. And now I'm going to make a really pretty green for this hat. One of my favorite green colors. So it's a lot of yellow and a little bit of blue. Now your water might be looking like mine. I'm pretty lazy about changing my water. When I did those 4 coasters, I didn't change my water at all through all of them. But if you want to change your water, just pause the video and go do that. So let's do a green. So like I said, it's a lot more yellow than blue, so I'll pull aside some yellow and put just a little bit of blue in there. So it makes a very limey green. And you could just keep pulling more yellow into it. Now you could tone it down. Would a drop of red tone this down a bit?
Huh?
Would a drop of red?
Yeah, just a tiny little drop.
So the tiniest little drop of red, let's try it. It'll tone it down and make it more of a muted shade. So rather than being so vibrant, it's more olive, I guess. Like Spanish olive green. You could add white to it. Let's see what that does. I'll stir some in over here.
You're off camera for that.
Oh, sorry. Right there. Celery green, I would call that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to go with this. I might actually put a little more blue in there. The blue's going to turn it more on the teal side, and the yellow's going to turn it more on like the true limey green side. And I want to use my little brush to sketch it out, so I'll just dip the little brush to this and keep this one nearby. And again, the droopy hat's going to come down on either side. This keeps us from having to draw a face. Isn't that nice? All right, let's paint it in. Sometimes I like to pull down towards myself, so I'll turn this upside down. We literally are little elves working in. Why am I such a misfit? That would be me. I'd be like, I want to be an artist.
Didn't he say
I'm sure
something?
there'd be a job for me as an artist in the North Pole.
Isn't there something about being a nitwit?
Yes. Those old Rankin Bass movies. We watched one the other night. It was Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And that's where he's... let's see. Who is the antagonist in that?
Burgermeister, Meisterburger, and Burgermeister.
Yes. Such a weird name. Who came up with that?
I don't know, but they were so World War I German.
Oh, yes. You're right. They were. He didn't want the toys. Oh,
I mean, just think about it.
Green.
Burgermeister, Hamburg.
Yeah, you're right.
Meister is definitely a German thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So the beard on this one, it flows down. It does not wavy like the other one. And then later on, after we paint the robe on and get the white on the beard, we do these fun little curls that are on the outside. Let's pick our robe color. So on this one, I did a burgundy robe. You know, I'm going to be different. I'm going to attempt a buffalo plaid.
Woof.
It's not that hard. So I want to use pure red. But first, I'm going to use my little brush and sketch out the beard shape. Now keep in mind that when you paint the white on, you can completely change this beard shape. So you're not locked in right now, but we are just going to start to get it on. So I like to do sort of a rounded beard. Obviously nothing is set in stone.
No, especially since it's painted on wood.
Especially since it's painted on wood, that's right.
You're going to try to do buffalo plaid. That's daring.
It's not that hard. Well, true buffalo plaid has like the lighter, I think it has like a lighter black with plain pure black, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to do checkered. Red and black checkered.
Trying to decide what color I want to do.
You know, we should do a springtime, like garden gnome. People love garden gnomes. Our daughter loves garden gnomes. They are cute. There's one side, now I'll do the other. I don't even know what made me think of these. It was, I think Kari did Christmas trees out of these, and we were going to do them as a class, and I looked at one and I was like, that could easily become a cute little gnome. And so I made it. And then I was so mad because like another paint studio that's close to us, who obviously stalks us, completely copied. I was like, that's totally out of my head. You took my idea. But it's just the way it goes. I've had to come to terms with that.
Actually, this guy's going to have more of that.
There. Okay, so that is going to have to dry before we do anything else. So I think now, other than I'm going to touch up a spot here with the red. Now, the edge of the hat here, if you mess up and it ends up like overlapping and looking funny, you can do a little fur trim on the hat, and that will cover that up. I think I've got a spot here that technically I could do that. Like the green was too wet. There. Now we're gonna let these two dry, the little guy and the medium guy. If you need to do a second coat on the hat, you can. And you maybe will notice after it dries that it needs a second coat. Remember the tree? So the way we did the tree was some of these little ornament things were left just wood. So you could draw a circle and leave it wood. Paint that same green we made. This one's even more muted, so you could mix a tiny bit more red with it. And I did use the handle of the little brush in yellow to do little strings of lights. Painted some snowflakes in them. So keep in mind you can do that if you want. But let's paint Santa. So the Santa one I think is my favorite. I just like the way it turned out, how the belt is at the bottom. Oops, right there. And this is the green Santa. I'm going to teach the red Santa, but you can do blue Santa, whatever you want. Yellow Santa. We haven't really used pure yellow at all. All right, rinse my big brush off, and little brush should be nice and clean. We're going to start with the nose. So dip that in the gold. So he has also cheeks. He has nose and cheeks. And we draw the mustache. So this one's going to be a little bit different, but it's super easy. Just follow along with what I do. I'll set him here. So his face, again, is right about in the middle. The nose is quite large compared to the other two that we've done. And it's not quite an oval and not quite a circle. It's a
ellipse.
What do you call it? Yeah, is that what it's called?
It would still be an oval at that point. If it's not a circle, if it's an oblong, it's definitely an oval.
It's a soval. This gold on its own is okay, but on top of other colors for decoration, it's great. So I really like it for like adding some of the fun dots and things that we do for our gnomes. Okay, so for the cheeks, we're just going to act like we're drawing another circle. So just draw like a rainbow shape on either side. Just try to make them even. I always have trouble with the left. And we're going to come about halfway down. So if you were to draw a dotted line through about half that nose circle. And then the rest is going to be going to be closed off with a mustache. So I'll show you how to do
Oh,
that.
I'm gonna do lip. I'm gonna do a bottom lip.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we do that. We actually do that on the Santa one. So we're gonna do the mustache now. Just try to ignore that these are here and think only about the mustache. So it's gonna come up and then it goes just out beyond this cheek. So you want this cheek to come down and meet that top of the mustache. And then I'm gonna try to match that over here. And this looks so funny, but this is how we're going to make it look like he's smiling because of the way the mustache is designed. So I want to make a little dot right in the middle of the bottom of the nose, and I'm going to connect. So this makes almost like a leaf shape, connecting back. See how it's kind of like a leaf shape? There we go. And other side. There. We'll put eyes and all that on and the beard on later, but for now we've got the face. Somewhat. Okay, so for Santa, I'm going to do the red Santa and his hat. I'm going to take my little brush and with the red, so this time I'm actually going to draw just above, maybe like 1/8 of an inch above those cheeks. Make a rounded line. This gets completely covered up with the fur trim. So if it's not straight, don't worry about it at all. And then let's paint the top of this with the pure red.
I've never done these.
Yeah, you haven't. You're right. It's always been me or Annalise teaching them. I think Eric did once. One year we did them maybe 4 times. And yeah, it was busy. That was a good year because we had 2 venues that did them, Stickman Brewing in Lake Oswego and Stickman Brewing in Tualatin. Love Bites, I think, had them, and then in the studio. Those were the days, man. Now it's like weird to think about it just being closed. I try not to think about it and dwell on it too much. It's literally just one of those things that you just have to say, you know, it happened and this is just the way it is right now. Because there's nothing you can do.
Just keep moving forward and keep your head up
Just
and
keep
in the
swimming.
right.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
We're well, for us, just keep painting. And it's really, and I guess the silver lining, there always is some silver lining, is it's really helped us develop our YouTube channel more. Definitely. Ah, that cider is so good. This Santa has the cutest beard. It comes down and then we give it a little curl. So for now, I'm just going to do this sort of rounded, like almost like a wine glass shape right here. And then we'll do the curl later on top of the red that we paint down here. So let's use the littlest brush. If you're nervous about drawing any of the beards, I probably should have said this in the beginning, use the gold paint. You can blend it in really easy. So I'm going to go for the red. And this one, the beard actually starts just below the mustache, so it comes off from the side and rounds down, sort of like I said, a wine glass shape. I'm probably going to have to make mine shorter because I'm not going to have room for the curl. We can clean this up with the white later on.
I'm giving my Santa a double braid.
Oh, that's fun, Viking style. You look like Gimli. Are you doing Gimli and Gandalf and the whole crew?
It might be.
Let's see. So I'll have room for a little curl there. I'm gonna wash
Got
call him.
It's my precious hero.
You're gonna have to do him like upside down. Okay, so I'm gonna take my red paint now with my medium brush. Andy Serkis got a lot of work playing oddball characters that are animated after that, because I think he was on Planet of the Apes.
He was Snoke in the.
Yeah, he was.
Star Wars.
That's right. He got a lot of. They're like, oh, he likes to wear those oddball animation dot things.
Well, the thing with Andy Serkis is he's a phenomenal voice actor, but he's also a very talented physical actor.
Yeah, what movies has he been in where he's just himself, not animated?
Oh,
there was one at least.
Wasn't he in? I'm gonna look it up because wasn't he in Dinner for Schmucks?
Oh, I don't know.
Let me look him up real quick because there was something that we watched recently that he was in.
Dinner for Schmucks. Yeah, we did. That was one of our pandemic movies. It's like we'd seen it years ago when it first came out. I love Paul Rudd. I've watched him on a lot of like Between Two Ferns and that.
I'm always amazed when I see actors' heights.
Yeah, he was also on that hot sauce YouTube show.
Oh yeah.
What's it called again? I'm just doing a second coat, you guys. So
now you
get
ask me.
deeper. What is it, Hot Ones or?
Yeah.
So he's just really funny, like naturally one of those people that just the wit just rolls right out of their mouth, and he doesn't even have to think about it. So that just says he's in. I think a lot of his movies are ad-libbed. I've seen the blooper reel from Wanderlust.
Oh, let's not go there. This is a family pain.
But yeah, he's just so funny.
He was in 13 Going on 30.
Who, what, Andy Serkis?
Yeah, that's the one I can think of.
Greta loves that movie. Our 14-year-old daughter loves 13 Going on 30. I think it is a very cute movie.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Jennifer Garner fan either, and I enjoyed that movie.
How come you're not a Jennifer Garner fan?
I don't know.
Weird. Okay, I like her because she seems normal. Like attainable, like girl next door, not like...
Did you just call her attainable?
Like, I mean attainable beauty.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. Like, you don't look at her and go like, oh, man.
I thought you were just getting toxic masculinity right there.
Yeah, good thing you cleared that up. Okay, so let's go ahead and start decorating this guy. So what I did for the beard on this one, I wanted to give it a little depth. And so I made a pale gold as a undercoat. And then painted the pure white and the mustache and whatnot on top later. So let's use, depending on how small this is, I'm going to use probably my medium brush. And man, I need to clean it good because there is pink water in it. So I'm going to pull aside a little white and mix in some of this gold. So you're going to get a sort of a taupe color. Not quite taupe, very pale taupe, beigey, light brownish beige.
That's so basic.
It's actually really close to the color of the wood. And I'll just go along here. It's not a cute color, but it will be cute when we put the white on top. I almost feel like I could go darker. Maybe just a plain gold. Looks like that's what Annalise did on this little one. I have Annalise's ornaments or triangles. So I'm going to switch to my littlest brush to get up around the nose. But for the edges, I can use this one. And you can give it some texture. You could use somewhat thicker paint here. I'll just use this. We can see some red paint trying to seep through up here. Trying to sabotage my beard.
Happens. He had some tomato soup with a grilled cheese sandwich.
No, this would be more like Kool-Aid. Okay. Wash the brush. Brown beard the gnome. Actually, you know what? It looks like the color that a lot of people who are born with red hair, when their hair starts turning light, like grayish or whatever, sometimes it gets this light color.
I gotta say that this did absolutely nothing to change the color of the wood.
I know, we could have left it just with the wood. So this was a practice step. We'll just call it that, practice step. But this will give us some time to let this dry and
it's a primer for the next coat.
It's a primer. We'll work on the decorations. This one, I love it. Like, one of the things I love on this, I love the little stitches that go across. You can't really see them there. The hat. I'm going to use my little brush in white and just pick up a tiny bit of paint on the very tip of the bristles. I'll turn this and I just do a little row of dashes that go over and across the top of this hat. Fun. And you could carry this around the sides if you're painting the sides, because why not? You know, you guys could paint the back sides with a completely different...
Trees on the back.
Yeah, do Christmas trees on the back. You can flip them around.
Then it's a double-sided display.
This could be... We could do a nativity scene of these. Minimalist.
Minimalist
nativity scene. If you guys want to see something funny, Google minimalist nativity scene. My daughter showed me that and we laughed.
I dig it.
You would. Okay, so now on this one I also have a big snowflake on the hat. Now I also have that on Santa's. Oops. So you could do something different here if you want, but I'll show you how to do it. So a little bit of paint on the tip of the bristles is the way to go for this. And I just draw right through the middle here. I draw a straight line, straight-ish, as straight as you can get it. And this is supposed to look like it's embroidered on. And then I'll do an X through this. Like so, and now I'm gonna take it up a notch. So at the ends of these I do a V shape. So there's one. It almost looks like a heart because of how much paint is on this brush. If you have a micro brush at home, like a really tiny one, this would be a good time to use it. But really, if you use very light pressure on a little brush, you should be just fine. Okay, what next? Let's see. I have room to do another set of those, which will just make it look more detailed and snowflakey. I can't believe tomorrow's Christmas Eve. It's crazy.
You say that every year.
I do. It's just like, it just flies up so fast.
You know, the crazy thing is...
Because we're super busy.
But you've been baking nonstop for the last 4 days.
I have been. It's me just desperately trying to get the holiday feels.
But that's something you always used to do before we started the studio.
Yeah. So do little dots at the ends of these. Yeah. Well, I even mix it in with how busy the studio is in its normal busy time. And I probably have room to do tiny little dots in between each of these. Kind of. Barely. So there is that. Another thing I did on this one, because I had room, is you can use your gold and you can do little scallop designs. That didn't turn out super good. Or you can just paint the top of the hat. Let's see if you can see that. You can just paint the top of the hat gold, like a little triangle tip of gold up there. And now I'm going to decorate down here, the robe. So the robe, you can do whatever you want. You can use the handle of your brush and do dots all over. I did burgundy ones to match the burgundy hat. I might do something different here. What do I want to do? Don't have a lot of room. I might do bigger polka dots. And you know what? I'm going to do them in yellow. So I'll do like this size.
Daring.
I did a half a one. So I kind of get more of a pattern type of thing. The yellow on top of the blue, it's not super opaque. It's pretty transparent. So I'm going to actually mix, what I'm doing here is I'm mixing white and yellow to make it more opaque. So it makes it kind of a buttercreamy color, but it's still definitely yellow. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
It'd be funny to take the time and actually do like Nordic print sweaters.
That would be cool. So actually, I started painting the dude on one of these, and I never finished it. So I was going to do the dude sweater and the sunglasses and this, and probably make a little white Russian. Again, you can carry this pattern around the sides if you want.
I think it's interesting because I've been into the store a few times, and I'm surprised that they still have lots of ugly sweaters for sale, because it's not like, in Oregon at least, people are not supposed to be having ugly sweater parties.
Oh.
But, you know what? Maybe we could just have a ugly sweater party just with our family.
We wore our ugly sweaters last week for our live stream. That was fun. So I'm going to actually take the handle of my brush now. I'm going to dip it in the pure yellow, and I'm just going to do little yellow dots. Looks like he's wearing PJs. He's very wizardly. He's the flamboyant wizard. So he needs beard action, but this is still wet. I can feel it. So he's going to stay with his tan beard for a little while. And I'm going to go to the middle gnome and push this one aside.
Tanbeard the pirate.
Tanbeard the gnome. Actually, making these into pirates would be fun too.
Oh, that would be a good fun party. I just say fun party.
Party time.
Party time all the time. Excellent.
Okay, that's enough. Oh, this one has the fun little blanket stitch along the border. And what I did was I used the littlest brush in white, and I start over here on the edge, and I go do a line between the bottom of the hat and the robe, and the bottom of the hat and the nose, just right along, just outline along the edge here. And if you've ever made a fleece throw or done a blanket stitch on the edge of a fleece, anything, it's cute. It just goes up, kind of curved like that. And then I'll do another one. So it's like I'm drawing kind of these U shapes all along the edge here. I see a lot of handmade gnomes on Etsy that are, they have felt hats, and they have the cute little blanket stitch along the edge. It's really cute.
It is interesting how gnomes in some way have become a Christmas kind of thing.
It's actually old tradition in Scandinavian folklore.
The tomten.
The tomten. So the tomten is, so you guys, if you have followed us for a while, you know we have a tomten painting or two. And that is a...
These are actually almost tomtens.
Yeah. Yeah. Christmas gnomes. In Swedish mythology, the tomten comes and takes care of your farm at night after everyone's asleep, and you're supposed to leave porridge out for it, and if you forget, it'll like. It's actually, if you read about it on Wikipedia, it's pretty funny because they're like, oh, it's so cute and so nice. But if you forget something and do something wrong, it'll literally slaughter your livestock. That is what it's.
So they're basically like the old security services in New York. Pay us a service fee, we'll take care of you. Stop paying you, we're gonna bust your windows in.
Okay, so on this hat, I have cute little swirly curly cues.
Oh.
I want to use the gold paint, and literally I start in the center and just spiral outward. Now these in gold, they don't show up except for if you tilt it in the right light, and it'll show up a little more when it dries, I think. So you could use a different color.
Would adding a little bit of white help?
Yeah, actually, let's try that. So let's mix a little white and gold.
It's going to take out some of the...
just to lighten it up a bit.
But you'll lose a little bit of your reflectiveness, but you'll gain some opacity.
So here's one that way. Really, I could do them in red to match the robe. And at the top, I don't have anything on the original, but I'm going to put a fuzzy white ball. So to do that, it would take white and do a little round scoop. Color that in. And then I'll just flick downward little fringy, fluffy brush strokes. It's not really a ball. It's whatever ball you can fit up there in that little triangular space.
It's not going to happen.
Nope, it's not. And you can bring it around the sides if you're doing that. Now I'm going to do the plaid down here. So yeah, look at that. When I tilt this into our LED light, look how pretty that is. Straight on, it doesn't really show up very much. Okay, so I'm going to take my little brush and black paint very carefully. Let's see. We're going to do vertical lines and horizontal lines, so just start with whatever. If you're doing the buffalo plaid, you can do whatever you want. Maybe you'll decide you like the stripes. He's jailbird gnome. Dancing to the jailhouse rock. I'm going to turn this way and pull down towards myself. And now I'll do the vertical lines. So even though the beard goes like this, you want these lines to go straight up and down. So I'll go till I like run out of room, and then I'll continue it on down here. And I overlapped a bit into the beard, but that's okay. We're gonna paint the white over it. And again. And I just keep going until I run out of room. So they're not super even, but that's okay. You could, like I could do this thing where I fill in to make it like a true big old plaid. Think of it like a checkerboard.
Simple.
Oh yeah. Checkers. We should play checkers on Christmas. It's just our family at home.
I don't even think we have a set.
We have chess. We have like this really cheap chess set.
I'll make a set.
I think Christmas is the day for board games, though, if you're staying home. Our family's super cautious, like our extended family. Our parents are not spring chickens, so being very careful. And so we are staying home for the first Christmas ever with just the kids. I'm not too, like, upset about it. I know it's just going to be, this year. I don't think it'll be next year. Knock on wood. So, yeah. It's one of those things. It is what it is. Try not to get too upset about it. Next year, maybe it'll be different. The one thing that is kind of sad is my in-laws. It's exciting and sad. So they just sold their house that they've owned since 1972, and they've remodeled it maybe 5 times since they've had it, maybe even more. Every decade they'd remodel it for the new decade, and it's like I've been part of their family since I was 19. That's when I met and started dating Paul. So watching it be sold, for me, it's like I feel like I grew up in that house. It's harder for me than I would have thought to watch it go. But it's a 3-level house, and they're both getting close to 80. So not a good stairs and being older, not good. So
you're having more trouble than the rest of us.
I know, that's what I was just saying. I'm having difficulty with it because I grew up there too. So I was really hoping we'd have like a last Christmas there.
We did last year.
Last year. Yes, you're right.
And actually, I've been thinking about it, and I actually think that's better because then we don't have the feeling of, oh, this is the last one. Couple.
We didn't know it was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the original of this, I noticed at the start of each spiral, I have a little white dot, and that's just for fun.
Well, that was a good instinct by me.
Oh, did you do that on yours? How funny.
Let me pat myself on the back. Good job, Paul.
Good job,
Great
Paul.
job. Paul, you're so thoughtful and creative.
Do you need a lollipop?
I do.
Okay, so that looks cute. I like the buffalo plaid. That was fun. I'm glad I did that. It's a the checkerboard. I'll set this aside and pick up Santa. Yeah, I'm running out of room here. Come down here, Santa. Okay, Santa gets decorated really cute. We give him little blue eyes. You can do any color, really. Well, we don't really have brown.
Well, you can make
technically,
brown.
If you mix red, blue, and yellow to certain degrees, you will get brown. Although, with our yellow, I don't know if it's possible to get a real good brown.
If you did red, yellow, and black, you would get brown.
Yes, that's right. Because I was just going to say you can make an orange and mix black with it. I was going to say you mix an orange.
Okay, Billy.
Okay. So Santa, let's go ahead and get the eyes on really quick because they need to dry while we work on other parts. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to mix some blue and white together.
I've got some right there.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll make my eyes a darker blue than yours. You could do green eyes too. And I literally am just going to do these little dots nested right here where the nose and the little valley between the nose and the cheeks.
He's got beady little eyes.
He does. And they're so cute that way though. This reminds me a lot of the St. Nick painting that was so popular for a long, long time.
That one got pinned like crazy.
Yeah, it got pinned on Pinterest like crazy. I noticed that too. Someone put it in an article of like top 10 Christmas paintings you can do at home.
Did they ask us? No.
No, they didn't. But someone made a rug of it, a looped rug, and she did ask for permission. I thought that was so cool because a lot of people are just like, they're never going to see it. Okay, so on this one I did do a snowflake as well. And then at the top here, I did a kind of a neat design. So I did a scalloped thing. Now you could do a fuzzy ball like we did with the other guy. But I made this Santa a little different. I'm going to switch to my bigger brush. I like using the medium-sized brush to fill in these larger areas because then you can get a nice smooth paint surface. With the little brush, you end up with lots of little brush strokes in all different directions, which work great on a canvas, but on the wood painting, not so hot. So picking up the little brush, I'm going to flip it around and use the handle. And I just stamped little tiny dots that follow good enough. Just follow this little scalloped-y design. Make sure you wipe off the handle of your brush when you're done, because a lot of times we accidentally leave paint on there, and then when you go to do these dots the next time, you end up with a big crazy goobery dot goobery dot because it's got the hardened paint on it.
I've got a fuzz on the end of my brush.
Okay, so on this one I did a snowflake as well, but you could do polka dots, like big white polka dots would be really cute on here. Little spirals in the white.
I'm going to keep mine traditional.
Plaid, whatever you want to do. And but to do the snowflake, it's the same thing as the other guy. We just do the single line to divide, just a dividing line right through the center. And then the X right through it. Like it's embroidered on. And then you can decorate this however you like. You can do it just like this one, or you can do it different. So I'll do this one different. I'm going to do little straight lines at the ends. You know, I love the traditional Father Christmas style, like in Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Mm-hmm. The way he's dressed. I love that style, like the Nordic Lapland Father Christmas.
As opposed to the
Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm just going to do another little line closer in. Who was it? You liked the outfit of one of the Santas. Was it Kurt Russell?
Oh, yeah, in the new Chronicles of Christmas.
Yeah.
In that category of being more like the Coca-Cola version.
Yeah.
They kind of added a cool little vibe to it. I actually really liked both of those movies.
Did you? I liked the first one. The second one, it was okay.
It was definitely scratching the bottom of the barrel.
It wasn't bad, but I just liked the first one a little bit better.
Yeah, the first one I liked the first one better as well. But I think it's a cute portrayal.
Yeah. I didn't like the Christmas in the tropical. I don't know if I could do that.
Well,
it would be weird.
Some people don't have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. What am I saying?
That's really
Forget
weird.
I said rewind.
I would hate to live in Hawaii. God,
yeah,
that would suck.
I was just thinking that exact thing. I was thinking, what are you saying? Like, you would love it there. But it would be, because we're so used to having cold Christmases and cozy and have the fireplace going and all that, it would be very different to get used to be on a beach in Hawaii. There. Nice.
How dare the northern people claim Christmas just for their own with all the traditions.
Let's get Santa's belt painted on because the little beard curl might end up overlapping the belt, so we'll want the belt to dry before we put the beard on. So I'm going to wash my medium-sized brush, or I guess it would be, for us it's medium because we always use 3, but for these it's your largest brush. And I'm just going to do a line across the bottom here. I'm going to fill it in all the way down to the bottom.
So on that tropic aspect, Which would you rather have right now in your hand? An eggnog
Or a Mai Tai.
or a Mai Tai?
Dude.
Or a pina colada?
You know the answer.
Mai
No,
Tai.
lava flow.
Lava flow. You know, I think a Mai Tai is one of those things that we only get in Hawaii, but it should be like part of the regular day, weekly regimen.
I know, we only buy them in Hawaii. I think here, if you ask for a Mai Tai, they're like, what? Where are you from?
Well, Fat Milo's had Mai Tais over the summer.
That's right, they did.
I love Mai Tais.
They are pretty good.
My problem with Mai Tais is I drink them like a glass of water when you've been dying of thirst.
Speaking of which, I need to sit.
Like the server brings one, puts it on the table, and I'm like, glug, 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 glug. Can you bring me another one, please? But sir, I just bring me another one.
Okay, Santa's looking cute. Let's push him aside for now while everything dries. And we'll pull forth the little guy once again. And what I want to do first with his beard is I want to draw the mustache on. So we actually draw it on in gold. And you can do a droopy mustache like this one. You can kind of make the expression of this guy how you want. Let's see how it is on the original. Yeah, it's also kind of droopy. So I'll just start right at the center of the bottom of the nose. And this might not show up super great at first until we paint the white on it. It's like a Yosemite Sam mustache.
Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Sorry, I had to go there.
We got to go to Yosemite National
gosh.
Park. We maybe have talked about it in another
I don't think
episode.
we have. Maybe we have.
Gosh, I recommend going at least once in your life. It's so gorgeous. And my advice would be go early in the morning because it gets packed with people.
I actually kind of felt like we drove in from the east, from the east side, from up above. Mm-hmm. And
like
I felt
Tulum
like
Meadows area.
Yeah, and I felt like that was actually more beautiful than the lower part of the park, which is where everybody goes. There definitely was.
Hold that thought for just a second. I'll get him going on the next step. Let's go ahead and take your white and just go ahead and add some stringy, wavy, leaving some of the beigey stuff behind. Leave your mustache right now. We'll fill it in a second. But go ahead and add this all over. Okay, so go ahead.
So there was definitely this aha moment as you're coming into the park on the highway. Mm-hmm. You like round that turn and kind of come through that tunnel, and it's like, whoa!
Yeah.
You know? And then obviously like seeing El Capitan and Yosemite Falls and Half Dome and stuff from the valley floor is intense and crazy.
So that one rest stop or Vista Point that we stopped at where we could see Half Dome across the valley, that was really cool. And it was up near Tulum Meadows.
Yeah, that was up above. Mm-hmm. But then I personally found that to be, the lower part was just so many people, but there were just doing the drive up the valley and into where the resort area, or not the resort, but the lodge area and stuff was worth it. But as far as like actually getting out and seeing things.
I remember we got there at 10 a.m. and we parked along like right there, El Capitan.
No, I see.
At first, and then we went to find parking where we could hike up to one of those waterfalls.
The falls, Yosemite Falls.
And we couldn't find parking anywhere. We literally had to vulture, which we hate doing. I'm filling in the mustache now. Solid white for this. And I might have to re-outline it in gold, maybe. And if it doesn't show up, you could mix a tiny bit of black with the gold, turn it sort of bronzy, and that will help if it's not showing up for you. But yeah, Yosemite is amazing. We did a whole road trip with our kids. It was like our first major road trip. Our only one.
And we went to Crater Lake.
Yeah, because that's what we did. We drove down to Crater Lake first, and then we stayed in Ashland, Oregon.
Yep.
and then went to Reno and stayed overnight in Reno.
Which was
hot as hell.
And we were telling the kids about all the great buffets at casinos, and it was like, oh.
There weren't any really great ones there.
We went to the best one that they recommended, and it was like they had. Our daughter was excited because they had sushi, but it was literally like lox.
Yeah, it was like lox
salmon
on top
lox
of
on
rice. She was like, "What's this? Blasphemy!"
She's a sushi kid,
snob.
so. But we did drive by Lake Tahoe, which was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really neat road trip the way we planned it. We just like created an itinerary.
Mount Lassen National Park. We mixed in there too.
Yeah, that's right. We hit up as many national parks as we could. And then we still have to go Yellowstone and Glacier eventually.
I really want to go to Olympic.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's closer.
Which is...
I'm just giving the dots here a second coat because I noticed as they dried, they turned a little transparent.
When we go to Glacier, you'll have to bring your Pendleton fleece.
Is it the Glacier one?
It's the Glacier.
Glacier.
It's the Glacier National Park one.
So outside of the pink little blush on the nose, this one is done. I mean, I could keep working at it, but really it's done outside of that little blush. So I think I'm going to pull over Mr. Buffalo Plaid and just checking the dryness. It's nice and dry. I am going to re-outline the nose. I just noticed it could use it. So this one, let's see, does it even have a mustache? No, this has no mustache. It's solid beard. And you can use your I want to call it the medium brush again. Use your largest brush or your little guy, whatever feels more comfortable, just to get the bulk of the beard color in. It's just pure white. We don't do any of that. We don't do the darker color underneath. So this time I want to round it out into the shirt or robe a little bit. I should have outlined the nose later, so now I'm having to be careful around it. Turn this. And I might switch to my littlest brush to get up around the nose. There are some small, tight areas to work with. So what was do you have something stand out that was like your favorite Christmas Eve memory?
Christmas Eve, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, my family had a really pretty, we had only one side of family that we spent time with, so Christmas Eve was always just me and my siblings, my 3 sisters and my parents. And, I mean, the one that really stood out is like sitting and listening to the radio updates of Santa sightings. But as far as like, we didn't do anything. We just kind of had like family dinner, and I don't even remember what we had, honestly. But we didn't go to a church service or anything like that. But I do remember also as like, and I don't know, maybe it was 1 year, but I was a lot younger than my siblings. So it might have just been the 1 year that it happened, but we would hang our stockings and then sing Christmas carols. And
Who played the piano? Your mom?
Yeah, my mom, and then my sister Sid did, because she played piano a little bit as well. But I think it was mostly my mom.
fun.
And,
We always spent it with Grandma Hubbard's family. And that was super fun. And then one year the coffee table caught on fire. Because she had candles burning and there was tissue paper flying because there's like 10 grandkids opening presents.
Yeah, we
It
didn't.
was exciting.
Really, growing up, we only ever really spent time with my 2 cousins until my aunt had more kids. But for the most part, it was just me and my siblings and our 2 cousins. And
You had a little family.
well, a lot of my family's in California.
That's true. Okay, so I'm going to create these fun curls on this beard. Now, you could leave it like this. He looks very like lumberjacky because of this pattern and stuff. But on the original, he has these little curly cues. So I do the curly cue like this. And then I make a thicker part that comes out to it and joins in. Like that. And I'm going to do another one down here. So it goes out. Like so. And then this one, it's thick where it comes out of the beard. Then it goes real skinny. That's fun. So yeah, you just start with this curly cue. Left-handedness. We're working on the left side is a challenge for us righties. Darn, I should have thought this out. I'm covering up all my cute plaid. Well, you can still tell it's plaid. And these extras might need a second coat of paint once they dry because they're going over something dark. The rest of this beard was going over just the wood. So we'll plan on giving those a second coat after they dry a bit. I'm gonna reshape that one. Have you ever seen those beard competitions?
Yeah.
Where they like sculpt their beards? It's pretty cool.
Kind of.
I mean, it's impressive. It's kind of neat. Okay.
Can you imagine that kind of commitment, though?
No. So we'll put that aside. Outside of giving a second coat to these twirly
Wow, I really feel like I
curlies,
just...
and the blush, this one is done.
I feel like I just did the curly cues and just jacked it up.
You could just paint the blue back over and start again.
Nah.
What is with the nose on there?
I did a Gandalf nose.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I get it. Okay, so Santa is ready for a belt buckle.
I think I'm okay.
Let's go ahead and do that. It'll dry pretty quick. It's just one small little area. Gold is what I want to use. And I just want to center it here with his mustache and just do 2 lines. And then a line across the top here. And if you have room, you could do one across the bottom. There. So that'll dry while we work on getting the fuzzy lining on fur trim on the hat. Let's see, what brush do we want to use? I think I'll paint it on the bulk of it with the larger brush. And paper towel is becoming a work of art. Could like scoot it over and use this part. Okay, so I'll take this white and I'm literally just going to dab along the edge here, and then we'll use the smaller brush to create some fluffy fur shapes.
Okay, the curly cues had to go. That was just not working.
It's kind of like how certain things come easily for you, but harder for me on your like your classical landscapes.
Well, I had originally, the way I laid out my beard was not to have the curly cues, and then I tried to add them.
Oh, I see. Okay, So what I want to do now is use my little brush. I'll just set this one in the water. And I'm going to create fluffy fur. So I'll just dip it in the white. And along the edge here, flicking upward into the red. And it can go different directions. It can look like, you know, kind of like matted fur that's been blown all around as he drives his sleigh 100 miles an hour or more. There was a really cute movie. Was it on Hulu or which one? Was it on Hulu or Prime?
I didn't see which one that was. That was the Italian Christmas Witch?
It's either Hulu or Prime. It's called The Legend of the Christmas Witch, and it's Italian. You can watch it with subtitles or dubbing. The dubbing is not great, just to let you know. We started it with dubbing, and I was like, I can't deal with this.
It just kind of depends, because we tend to like subtitled movies.
Yeah. But, like, sometimes the voice actors they hire are just, like, you know, not super great. And I think that was probably the case with this one. It didn't match very well. But the movie is super cute. I thought it was really unique. And
I liked it.
Yeah. I still need Greta to watch it.
Oh, she didn't watch it?
So I'm going to bring this fur down on the sides here to meet the mustache. So this would be like sideburns in theory. And the white, it's a little pink where the white went over the red, so I'll probably give it a second coat of paint. It doesn't necessarily look like that on camera, but in person it's pink. And he could have a pink fur trim. Why not? So I'll fill in the mustache now. Just pure white. And keep in mind you can re-outline the mustache if needed as you fill it in. You know, you might accidentally go over some of the gold edges.
So the whole Christmas Witch thing, I looked it up. It is a legit
Irish Italian legend.
Yeah, and it's basically the same concept as Santa, but it literally is on January 5th.
Interesting.
So I mean, amazingly enough, an Italian film studio got it right over what we thought. But that's kind of the way it works.
It was cute. It kind of had like that magical sort of Harry Potter-ish kind of feel.
Not nearly the budget.
Not nearly the production and budget, but I enjoyed it. Okay, so now we're going to take this white from here and here down and just fill in this beard area, a wine glass shape area. Either of your two brushes will be just fine. You know, we could totally sell these in the Red Sled Bazaar, Paul. You could make a whole bunch for next year.
We could.
You know what's been selling crazy there? The hot chocolate bombs.
Yeah, the hot chocolate bombs.
That is a new thing. And I know that they would be super tedious to make. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos. And the molds are like, there's 6 half circles in a mold. And so you have to make those, let them harden, pop them out, and then you've got 3. And then you have to, because you clamp the 2. You used melted chocolate to glue the 2 half domes together to form a circle. They're really cute. I think that it would be fun to make some for home sometime in all my spare time. So you'll notice I turn my projects a lot. And that's just because I know that like certain strokes I do better pulling towards me or going different ways. So it's a nice thing. You're not locked into having it set in one particular area. You can turn it all around. This, I can probably just dab on some more white on there right now. Give it some texture. So this fur trim literally comes right up to his cheeks. And there's a little space above the eyes. I'm going to wash this larger brush and set it aside. And most everything else should be done with the littlest brush. I didn't decorate his robe. Let's get the beard on and then we'll see what we want to do.
Oh, I forgot the buckle. I'll get it.
So for Santa, what I did is I came down and I did a little curly hue right in the middle. And just like that other one, it comes up and it's wider right here and then goes down to one thin line. Make a weird little goatee. And this might need a second coat of paint because it's going over red. In fact, undoubtedly it will need that. And you can just smooth out this curve as needed. While I've got the white on the little brush, I want to highlight just a tiny little speck of white in the upper right corner of each eye. That'll be Santa's little twinkle in his eyes. His beady little eyes. And let's go ahead and paint a mouth on. And so what we'll do is we'll make our rosy blush color for the nose and cheeks and the noses on these guys. And we'll also use that same color for the mouth. So it's just white and red. And the red will overpower the white right away. So I use way less red than white. I usually make it almost too pale. So I'm going to make this one a little more on the pinker side.
Pinkerton.
Pinker. So I just do a little tiny like lower lip right here. Don't do it too big or it can look like he has his tongue sticking out. And then across the top of the nose, down under the outline, this is where I would do the little rosy swipe of pink here. And same thing on the cheeks. There we go. This you could even do a little under here if you want. And then the other thing you can do with this, which I'll show real quick, it dries super fast, so I'm able to, like, I could add a little white shine to this too. Just right in there with the pink.
Looks like he's been hitting the nog.
He's been out in the snow. Cute. All right, now these guys. So let's see what it looks like with the lighter pink for him. Just mix a little bit of white off on the edge of this. So you can see the lighter pink doesn't really show up. So I think going with that darker, more bubblegum pink is the right color. And you can do the white shine thing on these too if you want. Santa definitely needs it because he's so twinkly and shiny. If you want to give a mouth to either of these guys, you absolutely could. Let's get a second coat of the white down here. And then we should be able to get one on Santa's curly Q after that. And then we'll talk about decorating Santa's robe. You know, these that have the pointed thing, we could totally make a Christmas witch. We've always talked about doing a Halloween theme with these too. In fact, Kari made a witch and some pumpkins, and I can't remember what the third one was. They were all so cute. It's just, I think we got it on the calendar too late, and nobody signed up, so we were like, oh, okay, scratch that. And we never put them on again. But I think that it's something that we should definitely think about next year.
For sure.
Nice, unique decor that you can't buy in Target.
You probably can.
Not handmade, though.
Handmade in China.
Okay. Setting this guy aside. Going for Santa now.
By children.
Enough of that.
We couldn't live our lifestyle without that, though.
There. Okay, so on the robe, what I did on the originals, I used the gold and I did this exact thing, only without the white dots. This time I'm going to do something different because I feel like that gold is just not, it doesn't show up against the colors as much as I would like. Let's see. I always like to go for polka dots for some reason. I'm going to think about it while I get some more furry trim on here.
My Gandalf nose needed a little darker shadowing.
Rouge.
No, not rouge, but shadowing.
Okay. I am going to pick a color. What color am I going to use? I think I'm going to do green. So I'm making kind of an evergreen color by mixing more blue than yellow. It makes kind of a dark teal. And I'm just going to, you can do whatever you want on yours. I'm just going to do little weird wavy lines. He's going to look like he's wearing like one of the Brady's cast off shirts. But I got the green and red on. And I might have to touch up the belt. Because I can see I'm overlapping a little. Doesn't this kind of look like a 1970s design of shirt?
Totally.
Okay, that is it. We are done with these, unless you want to continue working on anything else. They're really cute. Let's set this aside. And I'll show mine and I'll show yours. Take that.
Wait, I gotta work on this one real quick.
There we go. They're a little washed out, maybe on camera, but in person they're not. They are cute, and you can still paint the backs, so keep that in mind. You could do anything on the back. Like Paul said, you could do Christmas tree on the back and maybe flip them around as desired. Maybe make garden gnomes on the other side. Let's see, they normally have a red hat and a sort of a denim blue robe or shirt. So have fun with those. If you want to share your art, please join our Facebook group page. So it's not a business page. It's called Go Box Art Crate, and it's a group. So you have to ask to join, and we'll accept you. And a lot of the people who do our videos post their paintings there. We talk about paintings. I'll show teasers of upcoming projects. So you can absolutely join that. Share your art if you're feeling like it, and we love to see those. Let's see what Paul's look like.
Okay.
Set these guys aside.
Done with that guy. So this is the Gandalf nose.
Okay. Let me move this over here. Look, they can fit together. It's a pizza. Okay, so here's Gandalf nose. Oh,
It kind of looks like a roasted turkey, actually.
It totally does. His beard looks like soft serve.
It does.
A roasted turkey and soft serve. There you go. I like this very wizardly looking robe though. And oh, here's your little guy. Oh, you did the printed like pattern sweater, a little
Tried to.
Nordic style. I like your snowflake. That turned out really good. He has the little narrow beard.
Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second.
What are you doing? Oh, your Santa turned out really nice.
Wait, that was really wet. Hold on. Try this. How come I've got all the brushes? I've got your brushes for some reason.
I moved them over as I was showing these off. Yeah, so the gold definitely in the LED light is really glary, so it's a little harder to see.
Okay, there's my Santa.
Okay, oh, Santa's got the double braid beard. Look at that. Look at his big lip.
I always think of the old Rudolph movie, and he had this, like look like a flesh-colored jelly bean for a lip. So that's kind of what I went with.
So I like the shaggy beard with the shading. So you used like a purple to shade down there.
Just a thinned out purple.
Very nice. Very nice.
I would go back and add some detail to the braid, but
it's a pizza.
Maybe I'll do that before we snap our final picture.
All right, let's go back to us.
Here we are.
Here we are.
And there you are.
And there you are. Hopefully you guys had fun painting along or even just watching the video.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we felt like little elves working in the wood shop.
I think so often, like me personally, I get so dialed into doing traditional landscape stuff and more serious. When I say serious, I don't mean like serious like, oh, I'm dedicated to my craft serious, but more, not so whimsical type of subjects. And it's kind of fun to do those.
Yeah, he has a tendency to go for full on Bob Ross or Bierstadt inspired traditional landscapes. I'm definitely more of the whimsical variety, and if I try to change my painting style to be more traditional landscape, it just frustrates me and it doesn't feel right.
You gotta roll with what you got.
Yeah. There's a lot of times though where I'll look at things and be like, oh, I wish I could just do that. But
you look at things like, I think people fall into this trap of kind of like looking at their work and measuring it against somebody like Picasso, for example, or maybe not Picasso, Monet, something like that, and they say, oh, just not that great. But if you look at Van Gogh's work, is there anything technically wonderful about Van Gogh? No,
it just.
But there's a genius
all works
to it,
and
so what it is
works together because he has the same type of brushstrokes throughout his entire painting.
So what people like Van Gogh did is he said, this is the tool set I've got. I'm going to make the most of it, and he's one of the great masters of history, and so you should never ever look at your ability or what you perceive as being your ability and compare it to somebody else and just say like, this is what I do well, and just roll with it.
Yep. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. We will be live streaming.
Well, I'll be live streaming in the morning.
You'll be live streaming in the morning.
Yep.
A snowman painting.
We had a little technical.
Let's see. I'll show it.
Yeah, we had a little technical difficulty with our file when Jenny recorded it the other day.
Yeah, I recorded it the other day and it was glitchy, and I don't want to record it again, so Paul's going to tomorrow. And I've got some stuff to do, being Christmas Eve, some last minute gifts. I haven't done any present wrapping at all, so I'm going to be busy. He's going to be busy.
Yep.
But we'll see you guys next time. Together, our next video will probably be for January's Go Box.
And we're working on those right now.
So, happy holidays. Peace out. We're out of here, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Click the button, Paul. Just find the button and click it. There it is.